Not only is the pool in Ponytown a safety violation, but it's also one of many things that need improving in Ponytown. So come with me as we go through this list of 7 things that need improving in Ponytown, and things that I really wish they would focus more on before doing anything else, because the pool really needs a lot of work. For one, it's not very obvious that it's a pool. It just looks like a lake that they put like boards here for or whatever. Not only that, but it's also like way too close to this fence right here, and it just makes it really awkward to get on the diving board in the first place, in my opinion anyway. I think it's way too close to that. They should move this at least one more tile over, or maybe 2 tiles over or so. But not just that, they could also maybe make this a stone area, or maybe make this look more like a pool. Like they can make whatever tiles they want. They're the developers, obviously, so they can make this area around it look more like a pool if they really wanted to. Maybe they could even make this more square, because this is another thing that's always bothered me about this, is that this is meant to be a pool, right? But why is it wider here than it is over here? Why does it get more narrow as it goes this direction? That's another thing that they could fix. Another thing that they could change to it is to make it more square, maybe make it longer, like an Olympic-sized swimming pool or something like that. Move some things around, make it work. But for now, this just doesn't look like a swimming pool when that is technically what it's supposed to be. Another thing that needs improving is, of course, the tables. I think we all know that the tables needs a lot of improving. For one, the small table here can't even be used. As you can see, I have a plate here. If I place it, obviously it's going to go down there, but if I try and place it up here, it's never going to go on that table. No matter how hard I try, it will literally never be on the table, and as you can see, if I move it, you can see all the attempts there of me trying to do that. Now, it will work on some tables, but not all tables. So this table, I can put stuff here, but if I try to put it at the top, it won't go to the top. As you can see, I try to put one at the top, it just won't go up there. And again, this one is the same. If I even try to get it just a tiny bit higher than that, this is the max that I can reach right about there. So like, why is that the case? Why can't I go up higher? Why can't I go up to that section there? And again, the same thing applies to literally all the tables. I can't even go even slightly halfway up on this one. Like, that's ridiculous. This one, again, I can barely go any distance at all. I can only get to the bottom half. The top half does nothing. Top half does nothing. The bottom half does something, but I can't even go slightly up on this table. Like, that's very ridiculous. So, of course, obviously, this is something that people have had complaints about forever. It's not even just the tables. If I actually open this up here and go to the counters, if I can find it, the different counters, such as this short stone counter, or even just this long stove counter, or even just a regular long counter. If I do that and then try and get like another plate or something, as you can see, it's also weird too, because I can put it like over top their drawers, which is a really weird thing. Do you want some plates on your drawers? I don't know, but I can't put any on here. Same thing applies to over here. I can put them kind of on the drawers a little bit, but I can't put them on here. I can't put them on the stove. I can't even put them on this stone counter up here. It's ridiculous. This needs a major rehaul. It needs entirely reworking. We need to get the tables fixed, and that needs to be a priority, in my opinion. Speaking of things that need to be a priority, number 3 on this list is moderation, reporting, moderation, etc., etc. Right now in the game, you can report players, but it's an extremely lengthy process. It's extremely complicated. Not only do you have to hide someone, but then you have to go to your account settings. So like, which means I have to hide, let's say this person, and then leave the game, then go to my name up here in the top right, then click account settings, then scroll down, figure out where they are in here, take a screenshot of that, and then find Ponytown's email by going to the help page, finding their email right here, ponytownhelp@gmail.com, and then emailing them and saying, hey, I have a report, this person was doing so-and-so, here's a screenshot of their account name and stuff like, or their account character or whatever. I've hid them so you can go to my account or whatever like that. You'll also want to get your account ID, so I forgot to even mention that. You're probably going to want to get your account ID, copy and paste that there as well, say, hey, here's my account ID, here's the player in my hiddens list, they did this, blah, 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 etc., etc. And then you have to just wait a lengthy process to even hear anything back, if you ever hear anything back. And then maybe, just maybe, something will happen to them. Moderation needs improving, because not only does it take forever to actually report someone, but they don't have many mods. It's something that they need to improve. They need to get more mods. They've gotten some over the years, over the course of however long, but we need more mods, and we need an in-game report system. I should be able to, like, say I want to report this Cuphead. I should be able to click on them and then click up here in the top right and then have something on here that says report. Obviously, we still need stuff like ignore and hide and things like that, but we should also have a report button right here, or otherwise just click on them and then have a report button next to the little thingy there. So that needs to be in the game, and this needs improving. It's something that they need to focus more on because we just need it. Something else in Ponytown that we need improvements on is fall and winter. Currently, there's not really anything we can do in fall and winter collection-wise. In summer and spring, we can collect things like the pearls and clovers and things like that. But when it comes to fall, there is nothing to collect except for the Halloween event, which only lasts a couple of weeks. So other than that, there's nothing to collect in fall. So we need something special that we can collect in fall. I think a cool idea for collectibles in fall would be special leaves. There should be a chance for certain trees, or maybe even all trees, to spawn a special leaf at the base of the tree that you can pick up and then you collect it. And there could be like X amount of collectible leaves or something like that. I think that could be a really cool thing for us to collect. And then boom, you did it. You collected all of them. And then outside of that, you just increase an artificial number like you do with clovers or whatever else. But still, we need collectibles for fall. Same thing applies to winter. Winter is coming. It's like right here. It's right around the corner. We need winter. But once winter comes, there's nothing to collect. Again, except when we wait all the way for the Christmas event, which again only lasts like 2 to 4 weeks or whatever like that. And then it's over, it's gone, and then you can't collect anything. And his collection is over, and you can't do anything except everything else that you can normally can. I think this is something that isn't as big of a priority, but it is something that could use some improving. I would really love to see some collectibles. I think for winter, I gave you something for fall, but for winter, I think what would be cool is to be able to collect some, maybe some snowballs or maybe some snowflakes or something like that. I think that could be a cool collectible to have during those seasons or whatever like that. But we definitely need something for those seasons because we have stuff for the other 2 seasons. We just don't have anything for fall and winter. Number 5 on this list also goes without saying, but the caves need some kind of improvement. They've been basically the same since they were introduced, like basically nothing has changed about them. Like things have slightly changed, like certain colliders have changed, the bats have changed, which honestly, I think them like sitting on the wall like that looks a little bit weird because like they're not hanging from something, if that makes sense. Like, why would they be hanging against the wall? Like, in my mind, these bats don't make sense against the wall, but whatever, that's just a little nitpicky thing. But of course, minor little things have changed over the years in the caves. Another quick little thing is this section over here. Like, this table used to be a little bit different. It didn't used to have this stuff on there, blah, blah, blah. But it needs some kind of improvement, because as you can see, it's pretty dead in here. There's not that many people in here at all right now, and there never really is, which is weird because there should be. The caves are kind of cool. They're just not cool enough. If that makes sense. So expand them, give us a better reason to be here other than like, ooh, crystals are pretty, wow, that sure is a cool thing, even though I can get that in a lot of other places too. But yeah, there definitely needs to be some kind of improvement here. I'm not exactly even sure what you can do at this point. I think I made a video a long time ago about things they can do with the caves, but right now in my head, I can't think of anything other than like maybe a maze section somewhere, maybe some ruins somewhere that makes it a little bit more interesting. More things that you can pick up and grab and interact with that are very new and interesting that you can't get anywhere else, because that's a reason why people go to the bakery and reason why people go to the library now, because there's things there that you can pick up and interact with that you can't interact with anywhere else, that you can't get anywhere else. The caves don't have anything like that. There was crystals a long time ago that used to be the only thing that you could get here, the only place you could get this. Same thing with ropes, if I'm not mistaken. Those used to be the only places you could get those, but now you can get those in many different places. And even back then, people would come in here, they would grab a rope or they would grab a crystal, and then they would just walk right back out because there's literally nothing else here for them. There's nothing else for them to do. Add some more roleplay elements here somewhere or something, because right now it's just a cave and nothing else. I was debating even putting this on the list, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on the list. Number 6 is Spawn. Spawn, I think, should use some kind of improvement because it's kind of bland. Like, it looks kind of nice and it's pretty or whatever like that, but I feel like it's something about it feels off about this being spawned. The fact that you just spawn in at this weird cube, not even really a cube, it's like a square or whatever. Just spawning here in the middle of like this square here, whatever like that, feels a little bit off. Maybe move the spawn location to somewhere else, or maybe do something to this location to make it make more sense. Because in theory, spawn should be the place where you first got to town. This is where you are now. You first got to town. This is what the entrance to the town is, basically. Make it more like an entrance. Maybe put like a train or something like here. Cut this cliff in half or something and put a train through here, or make a tunnel here or something like that with a train sticking like one car out or something, and then have people spawn on the edges of the car, or even just right here, and it would still add that little bit of roleplay element, a little bit of an element there to say, hey, you just got to this town. This is your first time in this town. And enjoy it or whatever like that. You could also, another cool thing that would be very good to have here is a map of the town. I really think a map of the town would be really good right here, since this is spawn. A lot of people playing for the first time are going to be like, okay, how do I get here? Where is here? I'm looking for this. Obviously, if you go straight down, you'll run into this sign right here, which if you click on it, oh yeah, that's right, I have chat off. But if you click on it, it will show you different stuff like that. Like, oh, go this direction for this, go this direction for that. But these signs can also be a little bit confusing in their own way, because it says to go this way, but then if I keep going this way, if I'm not paying enough attention, I'll pass this sign, or I'll be like, oh, well, I don't need this sign because that same symbol isn't here, so the caves must still be this way, and then I'll keep going forever and never make it to the caves. So there's a couple things like that, obviously. I think a map here at spawn would be a huge improvement to the game, and also adding something like a train or a tunnel or some kind of gate maybe, or something where it's like, hey, you just got into town, this is the town entrance, you just got here, welcome to the town, here's a map of the place, here's the name of the place. I don't know, but something here would definitely be very much appreciated. And last up on our list is the top right section of the map. Not specifically the very top right, like this area up here. I think that's more or less fine. But stuff like this carrot farm over here and this pumpkin farm right over here needs some kind of improvement, because for one, we already have a pumpkin farm somewhere else. So it's a little bit odd to me that we have two pumpkin farms and they're both very far away from each other. So either remove the other pumpkin farm and keep this one, or keep this one and remove the other one, or whatever. I don't know which one you want to remove, which one you want to keep, but do one and remove the other, and then also kind of improve on it a little bit, because right now it's just like pumpkin is just kind of sitting on the ground, and that looks a little bit odd to me. Add some vines or something like that, improve these sprites or whatever else. That could be a cool thing to do. I think it would be awesome and very much appreciated. And as for the carrots, these are kind of just all over the place. They're kind of just scattered in there. It's kind of spammed in here more or less. Like some carrots are like perfectly on top of each other. Like that was almost perfectly on top of that carrot. So it looks like they just kind of spam clicked a bunch of carrots here or something like that. It looks like that's what happened. It may not necessarily be what happened, but it kind of looks that way. So kind of organize it a little bit more. Farms aren't ever just thrown haphazardly like that. They have rows of vegetables or whatever else like that. So a row of carrots and then another row of carrots. If you want this whole thing to just be carrots and nothing else, then just do multiple rows of carrots and that's it. Maybe make it a little bit more square or something, because this, you know, if it's a farm or something like that, maybe it needs to be a little bit more square, or maybe do something with this bottom half or something. Make it look more like a farm, improve the dirt here, give us some new dirt tiles or something like here that makes it look like farm crops or something like that. Give us more farm crops. Just do something with this, because the carrot farm has always been one of those things that I've always thought was kind of lame in Ponytown, and I always thought it could use some kind of improvement. Either make it more like an actual farm or do something. And of course, I've said this many times before, but I think a new building would be very much appreciated over here. I think a barn would look lovely, like around in this section right here or something like that. They could enter and then do whatever else with. Have more farms over here. Make this like a big, huge farm area or something like that. I think that's what Ponytown really needs. But yeah, other than those, I don't know what else Ponytown needs to improve on, but there are some here that they need to improve on before anything else, before they even update the game next. But will they? I don't know. Do you guys have anything that you think Ponytown should focus very much harder on? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll make a part 2 or something like that. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to be comfortable for yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.